Lobby Group Section 27 says the death of 5-year-old Michael Komape in January 2014 after falling into a pit latrine at a school in Limpopo was avoidable. It's argued the department's failure to maintain infrastructure resulted in the boy's death. Section 27 has taken the Komape family's legal fight to the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. Section 27 legal researcher Motheo Brodie joins us now. Motheo, good evening to you. Thank you for your time tonight. What are you and the Komape family actually asking the court for here?
Well, thank you for having us, Stephen. What we're asking for is basically damages, and we're asking that the department takes responsibility of the wrongful death of Michael Komape. We're asking for three things. One, damages from the department for emotional shock and trauma that the family suffered. Two, damages for grief or constitutional damages. And three, we're asking for expenses, the medical expenses, and other related costs that the family went under.
In the end, this is about trying to quantify grief, trying to put a figure on emotional suffering. I mean, how can we go about doing that? What should the court take into account when it tries to make that determination?
Well, there's various things that we think the court should take into account. And one should be, how the family has been treated from Michael's death. The heartlessness that has been displayed from the state in terms of how Michael's been treated, how the family of Michael has been treated, one. And two, just the general conduct of the department in this case. The second thing is, the school knew of the pit toilet situation in Matlogumela School where Michael drowned, and they were aware of it, and it was a preventable death. So those are some of the things that we think the court should take into account when coming up into a figure of what the damages should be.
One of the key questions that was asked in court today is about other children who have to use these pit latrines at the same school, but many thousands, millions of children across the country, in fact, have to use pit latrines on a daily basis. There seems to have been an argument around whether all of those children should receive some kind of compensation for having to do this.
Well, in the High Court, there's a structural order that was granted by the judge, and that High Court judgment directs the department to do away with pit toilets and to build proper sanitation. But I think the question asking is whether floodgates will be open now to each and every student, to each and every learner, and that's not what we're saying. We're saying in this particular case, the way in which Michael died, the way in which Michael's family discovered Michael at the bottom of the pit toilet is different, and this is specifically limited to where a child has drowned or died at the bottom of a pit toilet. So it's not for all learners within the provinces.
The Basic Education Department has said before that it cannot actually provide proper toilets at all the schools in the country. It's consistently pushed out the deadlines for doing this. In fact, just over a year ago, there was a huge national discussion about this. And yet it seems we're still at least 2, 3, maybe 4 years away from every primary school in the country having a normal toilet. Do you believe officials are not taking this problem seriously enough, or do they just not have enough resources to fix this?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. When one analyzes the budgets from the department, you realize that there's serious underspending from the provincial department of Limpopo. You take that with in conjunction with the looting that happens in the province. So the resources are there. It's just a matter of the department taking this issue seriously enough. And you see that it's not being taken seriously enough with how the deadlines keep getting kicked forward. There is no urgency that's being displayed from the side of the department, and that's extremely concerning to us. The second thing is that there doesn't seem to be a coordination or a database that the department or that the state has. Cyril Ramaphosa's SAFE plan estimated that there's about 765 schools that make use of pit toilets. And then the MEC later on, after Cyril Ramaphosa had given that number, gave a totally different number, which is about 565. So even in terms of the state, there doesn't seem to be a proper database or a proper number that they are working with. So how then do we expect them to fix the sanitation crisis when there is no even a database that exists? And that concerns us very, very much.
Motheo, do you worry that Michael Komape, since he passed away in this way, we've had at least 3, by my count, off the top of my head, children who've passed away in this way. There are probably others. Are you worried there will be more in the near future?
Absolutely, Michael. Absolutely, Stephen. Sorry. We're absolutely worried about that. We implore the state to fix this crisis because there will be more. And we can't have another Michael Komape before we're up in arms again. This crisis needs to be resolved as soon as possible so that we don't have a Michael Komape and we don't have a family of Michael Komape that's left in grief, utter grief of having to bury a child after having died from such atrocious circumstances.
Motheo Brodie, thank you very much indeed. The legal researcher at Section 27.